Hello Internet friends, my name is Rich. Thank you so much for visiting my YouTube channel. This is going to be my top 10 favorite Star Wars The Black Series action figures. And when I talk about the Black Series, I am referencing the 6-inch scale. And before we get to the top 10, I do want to mention an honorable mention. This is the Walgreens exclusive C-3PO, original trilogy C-3PO. This was an exclusive to Walgreens in the US. It was exclusive to EB Games in Canada. Really great figure. It has a really nice silhouette. And that's not some weird fetish I'm talking about. What I mean is if you were just to see an outline of this figure, you would think it's C-3PO from the movies. So very nice sculpt. Pretty good articulation. The arm articulation is a little limited. Because of those pistons, there's not a lot of movement in the arm. Those sculpt kind of won over articulation in that instance. Still very nice. The reason it didn't make my top 10 is because of the fact, it's kind of a protest vote really. The red arm C-3PO was the regular release, the Force Awakens resistance-based C-3PO, which is a figure I wanted as well. But the more desired figure, the original trilogy C-3PO that people have been waiting for, they made that an exclusive. Now, granted, Walgreens exclusives are not hard to get, and this was very plentiful in EB Games in Canada. However, it would have been nice if the regular release C-3PO came with two arms. You know, so you could put in the red arm or the gold arm, even if it had two legs. So you could have the silver leg or gold leg. That would have been a perfect C-3PO, and I would have bought at least two, possibly more. So, as it is, it's still a good figure. Just don't like the fact that it was an exclusive. So, there you go. There's our honorable mention. So, without further ado, let's get to the top 10. And at number 10, we have Kanan Jarrus from the Star Wars animated series Rebels. This is the Black Series version, so it's not done in an animated style. It's done in a realistic style. And I think they have captured this character perfectly. I like the armor. One of my favorite non-movie characters, and a great figure. So that is why he is number 10. At number 9, we have Old Man Han, or Force Awakens Han. Really great figure. Obviously, Han Solo is one of everybody's favorite characters, but I thought particularly Harrison Ford was terrific in The Force Awakens, so this was definitely an action figure I was very excited to get. I actually have always wanted an older Han Solo figure ever since the Expanded Universe, and all the novels that took place after Star Wars, talking about, you know, Han as an older man. So that was very cool. And the face sculpt is far superior to the New Hope Black Series Han Solo. I think the reason is the sculpts of Black Series are usually really good. It's the paint apps that hurt it. But because Harrison Ford's face had a little bit more character now, because he is older, the sort of mundane paint apps don't cover up the sculpt as much. You still sort of see the lines and the detail. The only problem with this figure, and he may even have been higher, is they've given him kind of light, almost sandy blonde hair, where obviously Harrison Ford in The Force Awakens had a very distinguished head of gray hair. So they are supposed to come out with a variant of this figure with the gray hair, but still, this is still good enough to be number 9. And at number 8, we have Jango Fett, father of Boba Fett, although some people pretend that's not true. Really nice figure. Hasbro could have, and people feared they may have, simply taken Boba Fett and repainted him. They did not. I'm sure it shares a few parts with the Boba Fett figure, but there's a lot of new tooling. He has a removable helmet, which they sized it really well. It doesn't look too big to me. Comes with his pistols. Really, really nice figure. I'm not going to bother taking off his helmet because I'm lazy. A good face sculpt underneath, but it has the typical not super great Hasbro paint job. But still, overall, a really, really nice figure. So that is Jango Fett. And at number 7, we have Ahsoka Tano. I know this was a very sought-after action figure. Ahsoka has a lot of fans. I was not one of them in the beginning. She was very much the Scrappy-Doo of the Star Wars universe when she was first introduced. But I will admit, she has grown on me. Really nice figure. This is essentially Ahsoka Tano in how she looks in Rebels, although not done in an animated style. Done in a more realistic style. But I think she could also fit in with your prequel Black Series figures as well. She comes with her white lightsabers. I think Hasbro did a good job of sort of making them look like they're kind of this luminescent white. Nice figure, a good mix of soft goods and plastic. Usually I'm not a huge fan of soft goods, but Hasbro has sort of used some soft goods in the skirt as not to hinder articulation. Although I will say I am a little nervous about posing her legs too much because I don't want to damage that skirt. But still, a really nice character of a very popular character. I'm sorry, a really nice figure of a really popular character. And at number 6, we have our first action figure from Rogue One, and it is K2SO. It helps that I liked this character so much, but I think this is just one of the best Black Series figures Hasbro has ever made. Great articulation, great sculpt, and the articulation is well hidden. Because, I mean, he's a droid with lots of visible joints, so it doesn't look like articulation in an action figure. It just looks like K2SO. Really love this figure. I will go out on a limb and say this is the best K2SO 6-inch scaled action figure, and that even includes the SH Figure Arts. Usually Figure Arts blows Hasbro away, but I just think that Hasbro knocked this guy out of the park. So K2SO at number 6. Okay, and here we are, the top 5, beginning with all of the troopers from Rogue One. Yes, much like University, I am cheating here. I didn't want to pick just one of the troopers because, and not that they're all the same, because they're not. There are similarities, and I just didn't know which one I would pick, and I didn't want to take up 4 spots. So I think all of these guys are great. So we have the Scarif Trooper, sort of foot soldier, the Scarif Trooper Commander, I think, the Hover Tank Driver, and of course the Death Trooper. I think overall, if I had to pick only one, it might be the Scarif Trooper Commander or Shore Trooper. Really, really like that figure, although the coolest is definitely the Death Trooper. So there you go. At number 5, all the troopers from Rogue One. Okay, and at number 4, we have the much sought after and unfortunately very much sculpted Darth Revan, a very cool character. How good is this action figure? It is so good that even though I have no real attachment to the character, he is in my top 5. He's actually in my top 4 favorite Black Series figures. Great figure. The only thing holding it back is I wish the arms were a little more, had a little more range of movement in the elbows. I wish it had double jointed elbows. And the legs are a little loose, and I don't think that's just mine. But overall, this is a fantastic figure. If you're a fan of Darth Revan, I cannot see you being unhappy with this guy. Very cool figure. So there is Darth Revan at number 4. Okay, and with the bronze medal, we have, from Empire Strikes Back, the AT-AT driver, or AT-AT pilot, or AT-AT driver, or AT-AT pilot. Whatever you want to call him, I really think this is about as close to perfect as the Black Series comes. I think it looks like he stepped off the screen. I know a lot of people love the AT-AT driver or AT-AT driver, whatever you want to call him. And I think they will be extremely happy. When I was trying to make this list, I kind of forgot about him. And then I was looking at my shelf, I realized how great an action figure he is. So yeah, the AT-AT or AT-AT driver with the bronze medal. Really great figure. And at number 2, perhaps the most oft requested figure after C-3PO is, I don't want to say old man Obi-Wan Kenobi, but A New Hope Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I think Hasbro knocked this out of the park. Some people don't like his robe. I actually think they did a pretty good job on that, on the soft goods robe. But the face sculpt, I think, is amazing. Again, the sculpts are usually good on the Black Series. It's the paint apps that let it down. But even with the sort of not pitch perfect Hasbro paint, the sculpt on this really shines through. Possibly because older faces I think are a little easier to sculpt or a little easier to see the sculpt because of the lines and wrinkles that we occasionally get. So I think it looks great. I think they actually did a good job with the hair, with the paint apps on the hair. I do wish he had double jointed elbows to get into some, not that he did a lot of dynamic fighting in A New Hope, but just to get a little bit more range with the arms, a couple different display options with the lightsaber. But overall, I'm so happy to have this guy. And so there he is at number 2, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So let's see who is number 1. If you saw my top 5 favorite overall action figures of 2016, this will be no surprise. She was on that list, so it makes sense she's number 1 on this list. It is Sabine Wren from Star Wars Rebels, the animated series. This is not an animated version. This is, in fact, a realistic version of Sabine Wren to fit in with the Black Series. And I think Hasbro did an amazing job on her. Again, a great face sculpt, but they actually did some good paint apps on the face, especially in her hair. A great figure. Her Mandalorian helmet fits over her head very nice. Actually, it fits a little too nicely. It's a little snug, so that's why she's not wearing it right now. But still, it looks fantastic. Great accessories. It even comes with her. I have it in her holster, her airbrush. Or no. There's her little airbrush. I'm not going to take it out. It's just an airbrush. But I love that Hasbro included it. Just a great figure. And what sets it apart, what really makes it number 1, is the paint apps. On her uniform, even on the face, on the armor. This is my favorite Black Series figure of 2016, which is kind of a surprise. I didn't realize that until I got it out of the package and started messing around with it. So there you go. Number 1. Sabine Wren. Thank you so much for watching this. If you're an idiot and disagree with me, please mention that in the comments. I'm just kidding, of course. But yeah, if you do disagree with me, put that in the comments. If you have your own top 10 list, please put that in there as well. If you derived any enjoyment from this video, please like and share it. If you didn't really enjoy it, you can like it ironically, and everyone will get it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll put down in the description below, I'll put my other favorite action figure list of 2016 in there as well for you to peruse. Okay, guys, until next time, may the Force be with you, and see ya.